Capoch could decide to go for another one of those two-base all-ins, which he does love dearly, and they do work very well. He has perfected, obviously, the art of the two-base all-in. So it's not too unusual to see these players reach into their back pocket and find those crafty ones. So we'll have to keep an eye on what Capoch ends up doing here. Of course, Goswser is going to be very on top of his scouting, making sure he can identify what his opponent is doing, making sure no probes are doing anything scary, as we see two Lings. Going to spot this probe patrolling at third. Should be able to take that guy out, or at least
did he
encourage
see it
him.
actually?
Wait, I just assumed he saw him.
I mean, it was on his map vision, but if he wasn't paying attention, it was only on the edge of his vision, so he may have not noticed that.
This is dangerous.
And Capoch has noticed a lack of a third base from Goswser. Goswser doing the same opening he did last game, getting that gas before the third hatchery. And that probe is still being sneaky. It's going again to check on a third base. Will the Zerglings find it this time?
Gosh, Goswser are so good, double checking this area, and without a doubt, he is going to spot that probe and get to target that guy down. So that probe should be returning home, and he should be able to make it. Of course, we're seeing Goswser go for an early gas once again, getting metabolic boost speed upgrade, and he's continuing mining the gas. So a very similar build to last game here for Goswser.
Capoch snuck out a second probe. If Goswser misses this, he could think, oh, he see it. Did he? Capoch, yes, he did.
Wow.
And
That's
this is
so good.
This is a very sneaky move by Capoch. Of course, when you send out the first scouting probe and your opponent finds it and kills it, often they assume there aren't any other ones out on the map. And if you can see that second one by, and you get a very early proxy pylon, I think Capoch was planning to do a mass gateway attack. And this is because he got the +1 weapons on the forge before he built a tech build.
Yes.
Now he's going back and building a robotics facility, but if that was his original intention to go and tech towards the robotics, he would have gotten that robotics facility about 30 seconds earlier before getting the +1 weapons on the forge, because, of course, the weapons will finish before he needs it, given the tech build. Which he has to do now, because without a super close proxy pylon, trying to do a +1 gateway timing is just not going to work.
You know, it's such a tough feeling, too. Of course, Capoch being a ninja, getting that second probe across the map, just trying to sneak it into the location, but then Goswser is just so good at the scouting, able to identify that, so Capoch hopefully is not affected too hard by that. Also, Goswser doing a good job keeping an Overlord outside his opponent's natural expansion, watching those gases, even sending another Overlord into the main base, going to spot exactly what's going on. 2 additional gateways from Capoch, spotting the sentry, and he should be able to spot that robotics facility, but we have a Warp Prism on the way, so he might try to do some shenanigans in his opponent's main base, utilizing a force field on the ramp.
Warp Prism before Immortal does indicate some desire to do harassment. Is Zerg going to see all those gateways? He's got to not show the gateways. I don't think Goswser saw all the extra gateways being added in.
Right now.
And that's a big difference.
Yep,
he did.
Wow.
Oh,
bizarre.
A very significant error from Capoch, showing the fact he's getting all those gateways. If you don't see the gateways as a Zerg player, you're going to think, okay, it's an Immortal timing, because he didn't see the Warp Prism. But now seeing those gateways that fast, he knows he can't get the gateways that fast and be Chrono Boosting Immortals out.
Yeah.
It's got to be some type of Warp Prism attack, or something is going to give it away. 1-1 upgrades are not going to be done, but if Goswser can find that Warp Prism, he hasn't seen it yet.
No, he hasn't.
The third base is dead for sure.
Yeah.
But Goswser with the tech advantage, the layer almost done, 1-1 upgrades on the way. He can afford to lose a third as long as he doesn't lose a natural.
Yeah, still no Lings on the way. And Goswser just now reacting. When you're reacting when it's at your third base, it's not going to be fun at all. So Goswser are going to run all of these drones away. And Capoch is going to be able to deny this third base. Now, there's no Mothership Core here, so he doesn't necessarily have that ability to retreat. Also, he's identified his opponent's build, making nothing but Zealots here, which not only is freeing up gas to use on other stuff, but it's also pretty much the direct counter to those Lings in the Zealot.
The creep spread from Goswser denies proxy pylons very close to the action, but the Warp Prism will still be at a warping units very close in. Mass Spine Crawlers coming out from Goswser.
5 Spine Crawlers, 6 Spine Crawlers, 7 actually there at the natural expansion. Capoch trying to hit before that finishes. Goswser trying to extend his life in this game. The Zealots wailing away at the spines. The drones are actually being pulled here to engage. Speedling's trying to do some damage as well. Goswser doing a decent job of isolating certain parts of his opponent's composition, but look at all these Zealots. This is pretty much a direct counter to this build from Goswser. Capoch is like, you know what? If you're going to make nothing but Lings, I'm making nothing but Zealots, bro. There's no Roach Lord here. So it's not like Goswser can go into Roach production.
He's trying to make Banings. If he had 5 or 6 Banings win his attack first hit, he probably would have defended without a problem. Of course, Banings destroyed Zealots, But unfortunately, they're just morphing now, and he's already lost almost all of his defense.
That's a great point. Goswser desperately trying to stay alive. One Baneling, actually both Banelings look like they detonate at the natural expansion, but Goswser forced the G